Wind go with you.
Welcome to Mondstadt. Hope you enjoy the Wind Bloom Festival.
I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I inform them of...
It's time! It's time! Let's go meet Sucrose and Kali.
Flames! Purge!
Listen, as long as you stick to your own path, it doesn't matter what Mother Nature throws at you.
Hey, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, great timing. We got a lot of letters in the mailbox, and I just finished sorting them into 4 groups. Nice work! Well, the real work hasn't even started yet. Which batch of letters should we read through first?
Welcome. How can I help you? The academia. What happened?
Did you hear what happened? It's the academia.
Welcome. How can I help you? And a radish veggie soup.
Did you hear what happened?
What happened?
It's the academia.
Many good bargains during the Windows and a radish veggie soup. The neighboring nation of Liyue has the most prosperous commercial port in all of Tibet.
Every course of action has its risks.
There are
Be careful.
many good bargains during the Windbloom Festival. I need to see money. Welcome. How can I help you? The academia.
Did you hear what happened?
What happened?
It's the academia.
Let me quickly summarize what we found out about a flower that Tainari believes that on closer examination it might be logically paradoxal, while Albedo says that his answer would be better discussed at length in person. As for my answer, I think a clock in the shape of a flower would constitute one that is not of this world.
Here's what we've gathered regarding a guide who will never get lost. Mona said that she'd like to join us in uncovering the secret behind the prophecy, while Bennett suggests Fischl, Mona, or the Traveler as potential candidates. Mika didn't submit much, but he did draw a vegetation map for Master Tainari and wrote up a dragon spotting calendar for Sino. Amber also wrote in. She said that she sees herself as nobody's guide, but everybody's friend.
As for one who would never lie, Rosaria removed herself from consideration, but both Razor and Sino are willing to support us in our search. Timaeus seems to have forgotten to write to us.
And finally, this is what we've gathered on a legend that never ends. Klee said that her mom has a number of friends who like to write storybooks. Lisa believes that legends live forever in people's hearts. I think that for a legend to be never-ending, it has to be filled with hopes and dreams, and actively passed from one person to the next. So, what are the answers? You're really smart, Paimon.
Or let's all...
Wait! Wait for me!
Oh, Timaeus! What brings you here?
I'm sorry, I really am. The time just got away from me and I didn't get around to writing that letter. However, I'm happy to announce that I think I can be the one who would never lie.
Huh? This is not that we don't trust you, Timaeus, but, could you elaborate?
Of course, of course. Do you still remember the time well, basically, she helped me out a lot.
Wait! So Ying-Er is the girl from Liyue that Sucre... We always assumed you were hard at work every time we saw you at the crafting bench. So...
No, well, I mean, not all the time. Anyway, a few months ago, I made a vow to the heavens that I will be true to myself and
So, at Starsnatch Cliff, you were...
Well, that's right. The Cecilia flower is said to represent a once wayward heart. I know full well that Miss Ying-Er is far more knowledgeable than I in both the ways of the world. Which brings me to the subject of the last few days. But yesterday, Albedo told me that Sucrose has been... And when I went to take a look at our roster, I saw that she'd done my I feel incredible. I've been spending all of my time in my own fantasy world while everyone else has been...
Oh, Timaeus.
And that's why I've decided to join you.
But, then what about you?
Yeah. Haven't you been planning this for over a month now?
Well, yes, I did mention in my letters that I'd like her to visit, which is why I just sent her another. I explained that a matter of great importance has presented itself, to which I must devote my full attention. I made sure to package the gift and letter with the greatest care. Point being, please know that I sincerely want to support you in this endeavor.
Well, you certainly convinced Paimon with that speech.
Thank you, Timaeus.
Ah, thank you, everyone. I promise to do everything I can to help.
Okay, so it looks like we found our one who would never lie. Great! Let's keep it up. On to the other... Okay, Paimon will do the honors. We have with us here the flower, the guide, the legend, and... Huh? Why did you only say... All right.
That's me! With Klee here, this all somehow feels like we're getting ready for...
There's nothing wrong with a more relaxed atmosphere, is there? Of course.
Actually, I'm still...
Me too.
But weren't you all fired up just a moment?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a little worried too.
I know what you're feeling. Saying anything becomes so much harder when there are so many people.
Well, does anyone know the exact location of where we're headed, or should I do a reading on my scry glass?
According to the prophecy, once we figured out the answer, we should test it at the Lantern of Utmost Joy. Wait, but where is this lantern?
Oh, we know something about that.
What? Wow, that's amazing. You really know how to do everything under the sun.
Then we'll let you lead the way.
This is it! We're off to find the secret...
It's the academy.
Welcome.
According to the map, it should be somewhere around here.
Let me take a look.
Aww, I don't see any lanterns here. Now that I think about it, the prophecy didn't say anything about what the Lantern of Utmost Joy actually looks like, right?
Traveler, are you trying to figure out something else from the paper?
Paimon's reading too. Huh? But there's nothing above us. Place the squirrel on the back of the pointy-eared cat, and a pious puppy will open the doors to show you the way. Huh. Paimon read the whole thing out loud, but nothing's happening.
Look! Look! The wind is blowing!
What a strong wind current. Let's ride it up and see where it leads us.
Huh? We'll have to fly up there? Can someone carry me with them?
Here.
This is the first time I've ever flown like this!
How did this little island get up here in the sky? Did somebody make it?
Just to be safe, I've been jotting down our entire route here. This way, no one will get lost.
Oh, good thinking, Kale. Huh. Who would have thought kind of table here.
I never would have guessed that such a place could exist. Right above Mondstadt, too.
Wow, look at that pretty lantern on the table.
There seems to be something on the back of this chair. Let me have a closer look. Take your seat, present your answers, and you shall reach enlightenment. Well, as far as instructions go, I guess that's simple enough.
So we just need to do as it says, right?
Wait a second.
Huh? What is it, Albedo?
We'd better make sure this place is safe before taking our seats. Everyone, please stay clear for a moment.
Well, all our questions and doubts aside, the scenery here is pretty amazing. It'd be impossible to feel stressed here.
How is everything, Albedo?
Everything seems to be fine. I didn't find any traps or but I also couldn't find any overt destructive devices.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it seems that wrong answers won't have any catastrophic consequences. Looks like we'll have to sit on these chairs and fulfill the prophecy. Everyone, I would like to suggest that we try some risky answers on our first attempt. Let's reserve our most confident answers for the second round.
That sounds kind of smart. But why?
I get what he means. If we do as he says, then we may be able to figure out how the puzzle works.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Mona, is there something wrong? You're not looking...
Oh, are you hungry? I brought some snacks.
Thank you for offering, Klee, but that's not quite it. While Albedo was checking just now, I gave my scryglass a spin hoping to find some information. But there's a strange aura to this place. It's almost as if someone has been staring at me as soon as we stepped foot in here. But if nothing here has actually been physically tampered with, then...
What do you mean, Mona?
Never mind. It's not like I've got any proof.
Don't leave us on the edge like this, Mona.
I'll just do what Albedo said.
Yes, let's test the hypothesis together, Klee.
Come on, join us, Mona.
Oh, all right.
Okay, then I'll answer the first question.
You can do it, Sucrose.
Then I would fetch a tetragenic sweet flower.
All right, I'm up next. My part of the
Golly, I hope you found your answer.
My answer is that I will be that guide. For a long time, I have been guided by others. It's taken me a while, but I finally made it to where I am today. Although I still haven't made a name for myself, and I'm still quite immature, I would still like to put my name forward. Because I want to help others the same way Amber, Master Tighnari, Cyno, and everyone else helped me. Now it's...
All right, it's up to me to answer the third part. I'll submit myself as one who would never lie. Although I've never really had any other virtues or talents, I'm confident that I've always been an honest person. I'd like to thank everyone, too, for giving me this opportunity to validate myself.
And last but not least, I will answer the final part of the prophecy. There's no tale more befitting the title of a legend that never ends than our fates as human beings.
Wait, the lantern just lit up! Whoa, all four sides of the lantern are glowing!
Huh? But...
Kale, could I ask you to stand up for a second?
Oh, all right.
Huh? What's going on?
It's pretty clear now, isn't it? We've just proven that there is no right answer for this prophecy.
No right answer? But how could that be?
Although the instructions had come from an old and enigmatic prophecy, it is in fact nothing like the ancient mechanism that we had all imagined it to be. I believe the lantern only serves as a simple signal.
And to think, I never expected you to actually find this place.
What? There's someone else here?
We meet again, traveler.
Hey! You're that Outlander we met the other day at Good Hunter!
It's all thanks to you that I was able to find this place. Good thing that you were too preoccupied with the prophecy to notice someone tailing you from the shadows.
Oh, is that so? Then, why do I spy yet another person following in your shadow?
Wait, really?
There's no need for pleasantries. You should know I'm here for you.
Is it just because I'm a visitor from abroad?
I was there when you snuck your way into Marjorie's place.
Huh. So you had your eyes on me even then, huh? That was 2 whole weeks ago, you know.
It's hard not to notice you when I'm on duty every day.
All right. In that case, I'll admit it. I was the person who slipped this prophecy into the storybook.
Huh? But why? Then, does that mean that...
Don't worry. Even though you probably have plenty of reservations about me, you can be sure that the prophecy is genuine. In fact, many of you here today may have heard the code name of the one who left the prophecy to me. She hailed from an ancient assembly of powerful women, each of whom used a single letter to signify themselves.
Who would have guessed? It seems that power was indeed left behind by the old hag after all.
Ah, so you're B's student. It's an honor to meet you. I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's a long story, but I'm not quite sure that I'm the best person to tell it. Since you've all spent so much time and energy trying to decipher this prophecy, you must also be very interested in the secret behind this lantern, no? The lantern has already been lit. Now then, please allow me to disturb your happy peace.
Huh. Why did this little thing just light up? How strange.
Hello? On the other side of the lantern. Can you hear me over there?
Mom? Oh, I hear many youthful voices.
Madam, I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Oh, since we've last gathered, Jay's successor has already become so reckless and bold. Unbelievable.
Wait. Why are you talking just like the old hag?
Old hag? Who would dare say that? Is that Mona?
Who are you? Who dares imitate my master?
And what of imitation and mimicry? It has always been a fool's errand to mimic and learn from humanity.
Aunt Alice, I'm here too.
to talk like other people?
So I see everyone's here. Well then, my warmest greetings, everyone.
Miss Alice, why would you...
Well, it's been many years since this lantern last lit up. You can't blame me for thinking that one of the old friends from my youth may have decided to catch up again.
Why she sounds so coy all of a sudden?
And if I recall correctly, we left this lantern in the care of the Animo Archon Barbados. You must be commended for uncovering an artifact entrusted to the god of wind himself. Tell me, are you sitting around my beloved tea party table?
It's a really long table.
Oh, so you are. I suppose this means even the Animo Archon has granted you entry to this place. Was all of this Scarlet's doing?
Wait. Paimon's completely lost now. So what was this assembly you were talking about earlier?
Oh, Miss Alice, would it be all right to leave the explanation of that to you?
Well, you should be rewarded for making it all the way up here and activating the lantern. Now then, let me tell you a long and ancient story. Ever heard of the Hexenzirkel? As the spooky name suggests, it's a secret society. Once upon a time, it even challenged the Animo Archon himself. But he replied, "Let us make music, not war, and resolve our conflicts through song." From then on, the mages would only ever convene in the woods, in the skies, or on the edges of cliffs. At these tea parties, they discussed their stories and secrets and resolved their differences, as the tea and cakes bore witness to their pledge never to fight amongst themselves.
Yesterday, I snuffed out the life of my beloved. He had grown old and was extremely sick. He loved me dearly, so I took his fate in my hands and ended his pain.
I'm raising a son. Of all the children I had, he's the only one left. But I suppose that still makes me a mother.
My lifespan is nothing compared to yours, so I wish to leave you with my storybook. Actually, maybe you can pass it on to your children one day.
Oh, this looks interesting. Let me scry.
My dear sisters, we mustn't let prophecies threaten our bonds of friendship. Even the most frightening witch was once a little girl, and growing up can be so tough. Sometimes we all need to vent our troubles to the wind. Even if the nations go to war, or the sky falls down, the mages' tea parties shall forever be held around this table.
So this is where the legendary mages held their meetings.
That's right. We often met here to chat and have tea.
Then, what about the part saying that if we light the lantern of utmost joy, we'd receive a supreme blessing?
About that. I never expected anyone other than Jay to actually read the full contents of that prophecy. It's a little embarrassing. The truth is, that prophecy was actually just a letter that we sent to Jay as a group the day before her wedding.
So it was indeed written by all of you.
I must thank you for resisting the urge to immediately reveal the truth to everybody, Albedo. Knowing you, you probably figured out everything the moment you laid eyes on the message.
No, it took me a little longer than that.
A flower that is not of this world, a guide who will never get lost, one who would never lie, and a legend that never ends. These 4 descriptions signify 4 individual mages. When a member of the organization had to leave the group to spend the rest of her days with her beloved, the other mages would write down this prophecy and send it to her to invite her for a final get-together. A flower that is not of this world signifies, of course, Flowers that do not naturally exist in this world. This is the signature of our full name, Rhine-daughter, also known as Gold. If there's anyone in this world who could create a flower species that does not yet exist, it would be her. The guide who will never get lost is N, otherwise known as Nicole. You may not have encountered her yet, but she is a truly extraordinary woman who has made this world's direction and order her subject of study. Some of you may be fortunate enough to have already heard her voice. Like a prophetess, she will only speak to guide people toward the truth when a change has occurred in the world. She has a tendency to suddenly speak in someone's mind without any warning. If one day you would be unfortunate enough to run into a truly dangerous situation, she may use her voice to guide the way forward for you.
Who would have guessed that there are so many mysterious women in this world, and that they would all know each other?
The one who would never lie is me. I hope no one would take offense. It's just that I, Alice, or A for short, have always had a soft spot for those with sincerity and candor. As for a legend that never ends, you may not know M in person, but you've likely encountered one of her works. Have any of you ever read The Boar Princess?
Huh? I'm pretty sure every child in Mondstadt has read that book.
It's also one of my favorite stories. M was an exceptional human writer who used her prose to teach me the meaning of grief. Don't you think such a person would deserve a seat at the mage's table?
Paimon's getting more and more lost.
It may sound hard to believe, but I can attest to everything that Alice has said. Jay was also a mortal who aged and passed on, leaving her title to her students and followers. Alice, you've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. It's now been centuries since the first of us took on her mantle.
Do you also want to become a mage?
Title aside, I think I'm more interested in the meaning and purpose of the Hexen Circle. I used to think that the Hexen Circle was a group of women who could control the very fate of this world. But now, I've seen for myself that besides Jay, many other ordinary people were also among you.
Do you think less of us now?
No, not at all. My interest has been piqued, and I'm now even more drawn towards the idea of becoming a mage.
You're right. I've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. But you are different. You are much more fascinating than any of your predecessors.
Oh, has someone finally piqued Aunt Alice's interest?
Now is not a good time, Scarlet, but as soon as I am able, I will seek you out for a meeting. I want you to tell me all about Jay's married life back in her hometown.
So the mage who received the prophecy letter from all of you was Jay? She left the Hexen Circle after getting married?
Precisely. There was only one way the letter could have been interpreted. She would have known what we meant as soon as she saw the message. We were just asking one thing of her. Please come to see us again. Before you go and settle forever with your happiness, please come share some of it with your best friends and sisters.
So, the Supreme Blessing actually meant...
All journeys are fleeting and will eventually come to an end. what will give us the most fulfillment and happiness in the end are those who will greet us at our journey's destination. Dear child, I believe you can also understand what I am talking about. We women will always have many troubles and encounter pains and frustrations that will keep us up at night. But no matter how hard things may become, we will cross mountains and oceans to see our best friends again. Regardless of as long as we can be with our beloved friends, our hearts will be filled with joy. To us mages, that's what being supremely blessed is all about.
Oh. I still don't get it, but I do know that all the mages are Mom's best friends.
If you ask how I see it, the Hexen Circle is just a group of ladies that I spent my youth with. Anyway, I'll introduce some of the other members to you all later. I still have a few things to attend to, so this will have to do for today.
Bye, Mom! Todoko says bye, too!
Goodbye, darling, and farewell to all of our other friends as well. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Oh, now that I think of it, isn't it getting close to that time of year?
Yes, it's wind bloom again, Alice.
It's also a special anniversary date. I'm sure you still remember.
Yes, I do remember now. It was on this day many, many years ago that Jay tied the knot. Ah, just in time for the Festival of Love and Freedom. Everyone, please enjoy this year's Windbloom Festival to the fullest.
Whoa! Ah! Albedo! Why didn't you tell me we'd have to glide all the way back down? Oh.
Are you okay, Timaeus? Maybe you'd feel better if you just...
I'm fine. I'm just... a little glider sick, that's all.
You may want to look into getting your own gliding license when you have the time.
Okay. Sure thing.
It sounds like you've still got something on your mind. Why don't you tell us? We're all happy to listen.
It's nothing, really. It's just... Well, Alice's story was really interesting and romantic. I won't argue about that. But still, the whole thing wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Of course, I didn't actually expect this.
Don't say that. None of this was your fault, Timaeus. Honestly, it's more on me for having agreed to be the Windbloom Festival Special Ambassador.
If anything, it should be my fault for finding that prophecy.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to blame the two of you either. I just feel like this whole adventure didn't really end on a...
But I'd say we still learned something new.
Well, that aside, Timaeus, you still need to go to Liyue to apologize to Yingar, right?
Oh, Miss Yingar. Well, I mean, I just really don't want her to...
Hey, you three? You may want to look over there.
Huh? Miss Yingar?
Oh, so that's Miss Yingar? I've never met her before.
Yep, that's her. And she actually came all the way to Mondstadt.
I am so sorry, Miss Yingar, but how did you...
Are you so happy just to see me?
Of course I am. I'm so happy that, I don't, Sorry, I don't know what to say.
I was ready to give you a harsh scolding, but now that I've seen you like this, you said you couldn't come to pick me up because of a very important matter, right? Well then, of course.
Should we go see how they're doing?
Well, I wouldn't. You'll get hit by a forest boar if you interrupt a couple's romantic conversation.
Oh, really? We'll just leave them alone then.
I am so glad to see Timaeus find his happiness.
I have to say, I'm even more envious of you, Sucrose. You can be happy just to see others happy, and you gave me so much help without any expectations in return. Even though you said that we're very much alike, I still feel like you have a much bigger heart than I do.
But if you say that, then I'd say I'm also nowhere near as brave or tenacious as you. I've never visited Sumeru, or made many friends from... Maybe I'll get shy and flustered when... Since we are so alike, you probably get what I'm trying to say.
But isn't it too late now for me to learn to
well...
I may have read about that in a book before.
That's a topic that my parents used to talk about back when they were still dating. Surprising, right? My mom brought it up at dinner one time last month. She called my dad the most boring man she knew, and said that he even turned up late to it, but she also said that learning is just another part of life. Why don't you give it a try?
Okay, I'll try my best.
They're really having a great conversation. Paimon can't even find a moment.
I nearly forgot.
This texture. Are these seeds?
Yep. I believe I mentioned my sweet flower research to you before. It's nothing too special, but they're the best cultivars that I've made. So, I really hope that you'll like them. They're super sweet and easy to grow and keep. I'm also submitting them as my Windblooms for this year.
Thank you. I'll plant them in the Avidia forest and take good care of them.
Kale, please take these notes with you. I've heard that you've been working hard on your studies, so I've prepared some study materials for you at Sucrose's request. Feel free to look through them whenever you can find the time.
Thank you so much. Really, I don't know what to say. I'm just really happy.
Ah! Sucrose! Now's your chance! Didn't you want to collect a breath of joy?
You're right. I almost forgot. Kale, can you exhale once into this test tube?
Oh, really? May I?
Of course. Huh? What was that?
It was like a little cloud of happiness, but now it flew away.
Well, luckily, there's still some breath left in the test tube. I'll keep working on it and let you know as soon as I have any breakthroughs in my research.
Yeah, you can write to me. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I receive your letter.
Oh, it looks like you found a new pen pal.
Master Tighnari! Cyno!
If your friendship was forged in a test tube, does that make you test friends forever?
That's it. I think you've ruined Sumeru's reputation in Mondstadt beyond all hope of repair.
All that matters is that I've enjoyed Mondstadt immensely. The dragon here possesses a majestic form.
Oh, that reminds me. Traveler, this card back is for you. Cyno wanted you to have one for yourself. If I had to guess, I'd say he probably wants you to use it if you...
I'm a master of the game. Do you dare challenge me?
Can you believe this guy? Huh. Let's knock him off his high horse.
Wait! I've got something to give you, too.
Huh? Kale has a gift for us?
Yeah! I figured I should follow local Mondstadt customs and prepared a few small things themed after the Windbloom Festival. I made these bookmarks from Sumeru roses at the hotel. I want to give them to Amber, Master Tighnari, and Cyno. During Windbloom, Mondstadters offer flowers to the people most important to them. You three are family to me.
But Tighnari said that we're not anything like an academic family. He wouldn't write joint papers with us.
Well, in this case, we can consider ourselves as regular siblings. And that should be...
I agree. Oh, and here are some Padisara seeds as well. These are for the Traveler, Paimon, and everyone else from Mondstadt.
Whoa, are these really for us?
So, are these your chosen Windblooms?
Mm-hmm, one of them. Both Padisauras and Sumeru roses are my Windblooms. Although they're not native to Mondstadt, they are the flowers that can best express my feelings. I want to give them to the people I feel thankful for. To those who I wish to accompany as we greet more seasons and future Windblooms together. The real blessing in life is when you are surrounded by people who you'd miss day and night, and who you'd want to see even if that meant crossing mountains.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Sucrose, do you see that cloud over there?
Huh?
Doesn't it look just like your test tube?
We should prepare while... We can. Then make a preemptive strike against the enemy.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra Abyss.
Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move. We should prepare while we can, then make a preemptive strike against the enemy. We should prepare while we can, then make a preemptive strike against the enemy. Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move. Every course of action has its risks. Be careful.
And a radish veggie soup. veggie soup.
Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move. Let's take a moment to rest. Plan our next... Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move. Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
Every course of action has its risks. Be careful.
Relax.
Every course of action has its risks. Be careful. We should prepare while we can, then make a preemptive strike against the enemy. Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move. Every course of action has its risks. Be careful. We should prepare while we can, then make a preemptive strike against the enemy. Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move. Let's take a moment to rest and plan our next move.
And a radish veggie soup.
We should prepare while we can, then make a preemptive strike against the enemy.
And a radish
radish veggie soup.
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Likewise. There's no need to be so formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. And it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, a portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and...
That's
Yeah, and it really makes you... A few days ago, a shaman and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it probably...
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the... Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
It sounds mighty strange to me too. Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were...
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you...
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took... Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Ribat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with...
Of course! Paimon is the Traveler's most important...
Oh, in that case...
Don't underestimate...
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming sketch? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were... The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a...
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry, and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're right. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals? The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that...
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? What?
I don't think you were...
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talk. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. Hey, knuckleheads, can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them. Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react.
Lucky today. Law of the jungle. Take that. No more tricks up your sleeve.
Look alive.
I'll be back. I'll take my leave. Try to keep up.
Hold the line. Let's move out.
Where do you think you're?
Buckle up.
No more tricks up your sleeve. I'll be back.
You're the Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Takana Lakmar now? Tell me, what...
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer.
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed? You've got 5 seconds.
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first... I definitely didn't expect him to go that far.
But why would he be so...
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to...
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but...
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find some. I'm really sorry.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana, this caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rain, that person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah. Every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margin? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last. Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just... But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani...
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, they could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from... Yeah, funding violence and looting.
But why would he do something like this?
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and the only potentially large expenditure I could... But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low. You're probably right. I know my ladies...
But what should we do now? All we found is...
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her if we're lucky, we can not only...
Dia, are you...
I've considered that possibility. But even still, she showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the... That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Yeah. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected.
Actually, we're still investigating.
I see. The clues?
Something like that.
You all look a little dispirited. Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about...
So something is wrong. Even on any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunya's up!" So tell...
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going...
The Master. Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story, and just stumbled into the deal.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about... In the past, I thought that my father hired a... However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30.
About that. Well, the Homayanis really... Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should... He offered me a pile of more,
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone of it. I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. At first glance, if my father had always been in contact with the...
You mean the goal all along was to...
No, that's too much of a stretch.
But that still doesn't rule out the
So, the Master was not likely an innocent...
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons...
But is that... My father has committed many atrocities. However, if we decide to investigate this...
Tia!
It's alright, Dia.
You don't have to do that, my lady.
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was that thing about friendship again? Right, yeah, true. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before...
Thank you, everyone. In which case, my lady...
Sure thing. I also...
you...
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two.
Yes, my daughter has... But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the...
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention.
So, that's what you found?
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you...
Wait, me?
Yes. I understand perfectly why you came to see me. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, your father Kusela and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt...
His heartfelt efforts? I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. I came here today to support you as the head of the home...
I understand. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed, those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dakan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would... Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyazad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because we started talking about our children, and I sensed to repay his kindness. I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a...
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyazad, now that she had grown. At the time, Dunyazad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be... I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular,
So he was the one who recommended the...
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious... If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then...
And that's why you offered her such...
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, and that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him and...
He was always like that. Acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any Mora from him. Eventually I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that letter contained a request to help him buy food.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dekana
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wet. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had... That thought occurred to me as well. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged...
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from... If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have...
Oh, no.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I can... But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dekhan al-Akhmar's merchant. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool...
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then...
I'll stay and be with my father here. My father has indeed... I feel like...
Yes. I am... It's time to face...
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the...
Shh! Keep your voice down. Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. This place should do. All right. Back to my question.
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk...
So what's in it for you anyway?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good... I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could...
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit more from my last run.
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though.
Sure. And then you can forget about any...
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into it?
All right, I get it.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. Seems like we're in luck. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Tia, why are you here?
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Let's move out.
Buckle up!
She's so...
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding. Did you understand a single word I just said?
All right, everyone, let's all just... Dia. The boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Akmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail. That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dia and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dia, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably...
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since his words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Dakan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, but we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, as for me, I never considered myself a hero. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You want to go with him?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. All I know is that Deshret's relics... Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, Paimon feels like we'd only regret...
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford...
He can think whatever he wants, but the fact is, I owe him this much.
much trouble on the way here. Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means...
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you.
You are not welcome here.
Look alive! Where do you think you're going?
My apologies. Rest and rebuild. Take flight. My apologies.
Flames, purge!
Take flight.
Cascade. I'll be back. You want this one?
Allow me. Billowing surge. Let's move out. I'm getting sick.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this...
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. Let's go! We can't let the boss stab.
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it...
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something.
Okay, let's go!
Yeah, Kamisato art. Sumetsu.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Be still. Mind the deluge.
Rest and reboot.
Whirling snow!
Covenant of the Deep.
Take flight!
Lay waste to the wicked!
You asked for it! Whirling snow!
Be still. The depths back.
Hold the line.
My apologies! Embrace the ice!
Cascade.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the others, but as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, even now, my brothers and I still the greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show that they are but two, while we hold with it. Wave 1, charge! Eliminate them!
The jungle.
Allow me.
Lay waste to the wicked!
Torrent, bring that news.
Don't think that you won. We're just getting started.
Now you're testing my patience.
Dodge! Break forth!
So rude! Whirling snow!
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers!
Uphill battle!
Patience will meet again.
You're dead meat!
Brothers!
With me, this is where we prove our faith.
You all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Your sacrifice is ready. Mind the
Spread your
deluge.
wings and raise a storm!
Sakura Swirl! Covenant of the Deep!
A golden slumber.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat!
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michel. They fight like absolute...
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I will be buried in the sand, alongside all the rest of our fading...
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
let's go.
Let's move out.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't...
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple... Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know?
This is your last...
Hey, I said I don't know anything. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. Watch your mouth. That's our boss here. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and he couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever... Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard them. Spare them no mercy.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Tia...
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful.
Is this a cane?
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Huh?
Patso.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Yeah!
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special... Hey, come on! Paimon's not that stingy. Anyway, the point is that you should eat. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, we're hypocrites. All of us. Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. Huh? Dia, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better.
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm...
Dia, Your pain must be even worse.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of...
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not... Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along, too.
I can't thank you enough for taking...
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit it? Wait, are you here to take...
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, but when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp, I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, one of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get...
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father...
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend... But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk.
Perhaps it's...
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already... It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have...
That probably means this was real...
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely...
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got... Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, a wool scarf, which, from the looks of it, probably belonged to a woman. I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Huh? There's something in the...
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it to Dia. It's a letter from me. It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been...
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, but once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute.
Can you believe this guy?
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if the reason being that...
Wait, what?
Surely,
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 really felt like the whole world was under my feet. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and discovered a baby in the sand. You were just lying there, small and helpless. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like... at this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child. I suppose, or I would have suffocated.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative.
Yeah. It's just a...
Do you already have some ideas about the decision?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
You